Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trail Mix, where the nuts might be a little stale, but the company is always fresh.
Craig Crawford here, retired journalist working for nothing but the truth and Social Security checks. And that's what would have been Sunday Serendipity on Trail Mix, our weekly routine that our friend Whiskey Jack always handles and puts up some music for us. And this one was on me. I got carried away with a fight I'm having with the YouTube robots. I'll maybe get into that later. And got carried away and posted something else on Trail Mix this morning, totally forgetting that it's Sunday. So I'm going to play this. The rest of this. This here is Johann Strauss, some kind of polka deal that Jack put up. That's kind of a nice little holiday, nice little New Year's kickoff tune, but we got more cooking, don't we? We got a lot cooking. We'll get that off the screen and we'll get into what we're talking about is Venezuela. Although I'll talk about anything anybody wants to if they get in comments here. What do we got on comments? We got comments open. And on YouTube, if you have a YouTube account, you can comment over there, or you can get right here on camera or microphone and talk as well. But I want to get to the 30,000 feet here, first of all, on where I see this Venezuela story really fitting into the world order. The new world order. Here's what I'm saying is the new world order right here.
The world fractured. A new global order emerges, dominated by three powers.
Stop calling Trump's foreign policy chaos. It's actually a map. He told Putin do whatever the hell he wants in Europe. He told Taiwan pay up like it's an insurance policy. China gets Asia and the Americas. Well, that becomes Trump's personal fortress. We're breaking down the new world order live.
You know what I'm saying here is this is part of a strategy. Might be a big word for what Trump does. Strategy. He's not known for. He's more known for tactics and strategy. But there's an and I'm not the only one saying this. His worldview is Putin gets Europe, China gets Asia, and he owns the Americas. And guess what? He just took ownership of a country. What if he named it? What do you think? Trump-zuela? Does that ring a bell? That work for you? Trump-zuela? We could come up with some other ideas for what he might name that. We'll get into some more on my new world order theory, but let's get down on the ground here. And how is Congress reacting to this adventure in Venezuela? We got a few panels here to look at. We'll go to CNN's panel where they talked to Schumer, Democratic leader Schumer, and he says he hadn't heard a word about it. They didn't consult him at all
and want some answers.
Now the question is, were they obligated to consult Schumer here? Well, the War Powers Act seems to say that, and it is protocol, has been in the past. One big comparison people have made to this seizure of the president of Venezuela is when Bush Sr. Went down and with a lot more effort, a lot more trouble, got Noriega down in Panama. And that comparison is sort of close, but a lot of people thought Bush should have gotten more congressional authority or gotten congressional authority for that, but he at least consulted the leaders of Congress before he went down to Panama. The so-called Gang of Eight, the top leadership, bipartisan in Congress, he consulted them, but Trump did not, and that's what Schumer's talking about here.
Not briefed. I still have not been briefed. We've gotten no information from them.
All right, my panel is back. You know, beyond just the briefing, there's the actual authorizing this strike. This is what Susie Wiles, the White House Chief of Staff, said to Vanity Fair magazine in an interview that was published just a few weeks ago. If you were to authorize some activity on land, then it's war, then we need Congress.
Right, right.
So she says.
So for this broader
the staff thought they
operation,
needed
the
Congress.
administration has been relying on those very decades-old use of force authorizations back in 2001. But I found it really interesting when the administration did start doing their notifications. Obviously, Chuck Schumer is a little lower down on the list of the people that they talk to. But I found
But typically, though,
they
would notify members in both parties, leaders in both parties on something like
particularly in advance, even if it's just very minimal, just to let them know that's what's going on. But the administration said we felt that was not necessary. And then Trump kind of just went in and said also they would probably leak. And that is why they decided to keep the lid on it. But when they started notifying members of Congress, I found it really interesting. I don't know if you did, Manu, that one of the first people that they talked to was Mike Lee of Utah. And he's
Well, now, so what? They talked to one Republican, I guess. Why does this matter? I mean, the Constitution has a few things to say about this, and it was pretty clear the founders and the Republican Party is supposedly the original intent crowd, where we're supposed to follow the actual intent of the founders as life existed in the 18th century. Well, they were pretty clear that the Congress was the dominant branch of government in deciding when to send military. Now, the details of the tactics, that's different. And that's something that I've gotten some pushback from on my videos on YouTube on that score about whether or not, they had to consult Congress, and people say, well, you can't consult Congress because they'll leak and you can't, and then it would compromise the operation. Well, you don't have to get agreement by Congress on actual tactics. But I mean, here's what a member of Congress, a Democrat, but not a wild progressive or anything. I think Seth Moulton is from Massachusetts, but he's still considered something of a moderate. And he had something on his, I guess this was his TikTok or Instagram or something, and he's pretty serious.
Is anyone going to just stop for a second and be honest? This is insane. What the hell are we doing? I mean, we've got a lot of problems in America today, and invading, occupying, running Venezuela does not solve any of them. This is illegal. It's unjustified. It is not in our national interests. And there seems to be no plan whatsoever for what happens next.
And to that point, let's on whether there are plans. Rubio was on Meet the Press this morning, got asked about plans, particularly how are we going to get a Democratic government down there, or do they even want one? Or are they even going to hold a vote? He said, "Oh, that's premature. They went down there and broke it. Now they own it, but they don't seem to have a plan to fix it."
You talk about a holistic transition. I think there's a lot of focus on potential elections. How soon will elections be held? Within 30 days, Mr. Secretary?
Elections? Well, look, this is a country that's been governed by this regime now for 14 or 15 years. The elections should have happened a long time ago. The elections did happen. They lost them, and they didn't count the votes, or they refused to count the votes, and everyone knows it. So all of that, I think, is premature at this point. There's a lot of work to be done here. Right now, what we are focused in, let's be realistic here, what we are focused on right now is all of the problems we had with when Maduro was there. We still have those problems in terms of them needing to be addressed. We are going to give people an opportunity opportunity to address those challenges and those problems. Until they address it, they will continue to face this oil quarantine. They will continue to face pressure from the United States. We will continue to target drug boats if they try to run towards the United States. We will continue to seize the boats that are sanctioned with court orders. We will continue to do that and potentially other things until the things we need to see addressed are addressed. Because ultimately, above everything else, we care about elections, we care about democracy, we care about all of that. But the number one thing we care about is the safety, security, well-being, and prosperity of the United States. And that's what we're going to focus on first and foremost here. And that's what these policies, these changes we need to see made are about.
Okay, significant there. You say you will continue to seize boats when necessary. I want to.
Got a commenter here, Eric. Hello, Eric. Of course, Democrats are lucrative. They never met a leftist dictator they didn't love. Really? That's a mighty categorical statement about all Democrats loving all leftist dictators. I guess I'd need a little bit of clarification on that. What do we call it? Oh, how about some proof? I'd like to have that discussion if you could give me some particulars on what you're talking about. Stuart says, good morning. Good morning, Stuart. And we are talking Venezuela, but I'm talking anything anybody wants to talk about. I'm going to get back into Venezuela here in a second with another clip I have from a former or retired State Department guy that I happened to see on German public television. No, I think it was French English channel. And I've heard of this guy. He is a real expert on Venezuela, and I'm going to get to him in a minute because he has a lot of interesting things about what's going on inside Venezuela, which, you know, we don't have a lot of people down there. He's retired and he lives there. His wife's Venezuelan. He even points out that his cat's Venezuelan, so he's got something. Anyway, Stuart, shame on you for loving dictators. That's right. Yeah. Well, I don't love ours. Our dictator, and who I guess we've got one less dictator in the hemisphere, but we got a few others. And this guy I'm talking about, I want to get him in on here, and I can come in and out of this if we want to talk about other things. But I thought he had some interesting observation about what's going on the ground there. Play a couple of minutes. We got Jamie coming in.
I think that we still are looking at a regime in Venezuela that is large.
This is a retired State Department guy of 35 years or so, spent 15 years in Venezuela doing Venezuelan policy, and his wife's Venezuelan. He points out his cat's Venezuelan, and he's there now. He lives there now. He's telling us what's happening on the ground there and had some interesting observations.
Largely still intact. Two of the power ministers, for example, the defense minister and the minister of interior, are still in place, and they have been taking actions to mobilize people. You also have Delcy Rodriguez, the vice president. I knew her when she was the foreign minister, stepping into the role as vice president. She's being very careful not to say that she's assumed the presidency, but the regime is still functioning. And I think that every day that goes by that the opposition is not able to demonstrate a strong show of force on the street is a day that the regime restores its strength.
Now, that's a point he makes that I think is worth noting is they got one guy out, the top guy, but the rest of his regime's still there and doing their thing. Hello, Jamie.
Hello
George
there.
here.
That was the main reason I put up the Face the Nation interview with Rubio, is that basically nothing has changed.
Yeah. I played it earlier. I don't know if you saw.
I was catching up on a whole lot of other stuff.
But we got Stuart in the house. I know you're not praising. Well, yeah, I know you knew I wasn't praising Maduro. I was reacting to this other commenter who I guess he's a drive-by. I tried to get him to tell me what he's talking about, but I guess he's a drive-by shooter. Eric, come on, talk to us if you got more to say or want to offer. Democrats never met a leftist dictator they didn't love. Did you know that, Jamie?
Stuart is, of course, asking the great big question we're all asking: what next?
Yeah,
does
right.
he go after Greenland just because Miller wants him to, or do we go after Cuba, or because Rubio wants him to? Or
I think so. I think all the above.
And of course, Congress, who we hope will be back on a Monday, may or may not do anything other than sit in their chairs and collect salaries.
And the reason, is I have believed for a long time, and this is my own idea, I've seen others say it, is Trump's his philosophy, to the extent he has one, is we get all the Americas, Putin gets Europe, China gets Asia. And that's what I looked it up. I did this video December 12th on that point.
The world fractured. A new global order emerges, dominated by three powers.
Stop calling Trump's foreign policy chaos. It's actually a map. He told Putin do whatever the hell he wants in Europe. He told Taiwan pay up like it's an insurance policy. China gets Asia and the Americas. Well, that becomes Trump's personal fortress. We're breaking down the New World Order live.
I'm giving myself applause for that one. I think that was I was prescient.
Well, Zelensky sort of smirked at the camera and said, while you were going after dictators, I've got one on my border you might.
Yeah, right. I actually have that here somewhere as well. I pulled that one because I thought that was just great when he said that.
The comedian in him couldn't resist that.
It really did, didn't it? Yeah. It was. I mean, he was very funny there, I thought. And I was just going to see if it's so hard to know where I put things. I did have that, though. I'll find it eventually.
Okay.
I forgot it was Sunday. Did you see what I did this morning?
Yes, you were a bad person. You forgot Sunday serendipity.
I cannot believe it. I actually have it here ready to go. I'm going to play it on here when we're done. The Sunday serendipity that he was gonna do. But
Stuart, most of us aren't at all upset with Maduro being taken out. It's the way it was done.
Well, like I was saying, all I want, I just want the Constitution to matter, and the war powers protocols followed, and that's I might agree that we should have gone there and got Maduro. I think I might actually, but I want Congress to participate at a minimum in that decision because that's our system of government. Anyway, let's see what. Oh, I see this. This move with Maduro is okay with me, but the next man up is not a good move for policy. Yeah, this guy I played earlier, who's the retired State Department dude, is making that point that the regime's still there. They took out the guy at the top, but the rest of them, and he named the several. He lives in Venezuela now, and said that the regime's not dismantled at all. I mean, all they did was take out the guy at the top, and there's plenty left underneath him. They got 300,000 troops there. I really think the military might have cooperated with us on this one. I wonder.
Well, me and the Rachel Maddow fan club, her previous book, Prequel, was all about oil all around the globe. And
I forgot she
done to the countries where oil was really the person in charge.
Yeah. And
so go get Prequel.
Yeah. I saw some of what she did on video about that. I never actually pulled it out and read it. But speaking of oil here, this Zanny's her name. I never have internalized her last name. She's the editor-in-chief of The Economist. And she's also an economist and talks here about the difficulties with this idea that we're just all of a sudden going to start pumping oil and lower our own gas prices. And she kind of puts the lie to that one. I got to put her sound on.
Huge amount of appetite from US oil majors to rush in there, given the level of uncertainty. So the whole energy side of this, I mean, maybe the Trump administration is thinking this brings oil prices down, which is good for the midterms. But I think this is going to be a much harder thing of its own accord. But more broadly, I think that I'm not sure that I would say, as Richard does, that we know what the Trump doctrine is. I think we know the Donroe doctrine now. We know what his route is and what he wants to do in the Western Hemisphere. And it is a very 19th century approach of this is my backyard. The US can do what the heck it likes, and we care about resources. And if you think, remember last year we had hints of this with his talk about Panama Canal, his talk about Greenland. I must say, if I were Greenland now, or indeed if I were Cuba or if I were Colombia, I would be really worried.
That's what you were just saying, Jamie.
And then, of course, there's the small matter that oil itself is really, really bad for us, for the environment, for microplastics, particularly now that they've found a way to make plastic out of sugar beets. And it's biodegradable and doesn't kill people.
That's just fake news now, and we don't believe any of that anymore. That's all Al Gore. Did you see Al Gore going crazy last couple of days? It was great. I mean, I've been wondering where he was. I mean, he did an interview where I saw, and he was really fired up.
Well, this whole microplastic business is doing a thin, and it might be a good idea to stop making it.
Well, the argument Gore was making a couple days ago is that it's that renewable, wind and solar have actually gotten cheaper, he says, than fossil fuels. And we're at the point that if we had a policy that supported it, we really are able to start making that transition in a big way, economically speaking. Meanwhile, what do we got here? Rogu says he supports Trump. Democrats are the evil ones. Okay.
Okay. Please bring facts. We like them.
If you want to have a conversation, we'll do that. If you're just a drive-by insulter, that's okay too. We take them all. And this woman here, I just a little bit more of her, because I every time I see her, she's one of these people. When I see her, I stop and listen, because she's got some always has some great observations.
Because this is an administration that clearly thinks it has an absolute right to do whatever it likes in its own backyard. And if I were Xi Jinping or indeed Vladimir Putin, I would start, thinking, maybe I can do what I like too.
Let me just quickly.
Yeah, can't you imagine? I mean, how are we going to say anything if China says, okay, Taiwan's ours now, we're going to go get it? How can we say anything? We've got no moral high ground to oppose that.
Yeah, particularly since quite a few years back, Britain gave away Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So that whole sector of the world is in danger of being taken over. And Australia's right there sitting in the middle trying to figure out how to be a commonwealth while dealing with China.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I got to pull this one off, and then I got issues with the way these screens operate that I've got to try and figure out, because when you try to put one thing on the screen, you got to pull off what you had on the screen. but then you got to find it. which isn't easy. I've got it on here. It should be there.
I'm having my own war with WordPress at the moment.
Are you still fighting WordPress?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Well, they recommended I do a change. I did the change along with their recommendation and can't get anything to work. And their AI keeps running me around in circles because he doesn't know what's on a page.
Ro, I did not take, I mean, I highlight comments and I highlighted yours earlier. Yours is still on there here in the comment screen, because so nobody's taking your comments down. And if I don't know if you've got something else to say that we can respond to, we'd be happy to. If you're just going to call us evil, that's not much of a conversation. Let's see, Stuart, we have a large Venezuelan refinery in the town I live in. Venezuela, you mean refining Venezuelan oil? Oh, I don't know.
Welcome to your beliefs, Rogue. Just bring facts. Tell us why you believe it.
I just realized, see, there, I got those a little bigger. I never have decided whether we like them tall on the side, the comments, or in the middle, or no, we like
They're
them
fine
big.
there on the side.
Yeah, that's better on the side, I think.
Yeah, it's easier to read.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. We learned that lesson. Oh, I went and got your, let's see, I didn't want to forget to play with this because, well, first of all, let's get our trailmix.cc. Anybody on there wants to get on our site where we're busy every day? Everybody's on there talking every single day, all day. There's always somebody there. Trailmix.cc. That is cc.cc. And anyway, this is our esteemed editorial board right here. Let's see who I got. I still got Stuart up there. Let's see. Anyway, I don't know.
Yes,
Yeah.
Gravity,
Okay. Now,
we know that. We're objecting to how we got him, not that we did get him.
yeah, they're conflating that. If you say he should have gotten congressional authority, then somehow you support Maduro. That just is par for the course. But anyway, I got your sounds in, Jamie. So
you did. You mixed them
our
up.
editorial board. So here's I hadn't mixed them up yet. I hadn't done that yet. But here's the cow, and then the goat. Get their volume up, and then finally the jackass. And for those who want to join Trailmix CC, and that's our editorial board, so you know you're in safe hands. Now, Blue here put up this. The Senate, I knew they had done something, but I was glad to see on Trail Mix this morning, Blue and Dallas put this up, that it was in November. The Senate did vote, but they voted it down 49-51. They did have a motion. Now, why couldn't I would shut up right now about this pretty much if they had just passed this and Trump had the authority from Congress to do what he did in Venezuela. But they didn't. I mean, it was a joint resolution to introduce under the War Powers Act that sought to direct the removal of armed forces from hostilities or against Venezuela unless authorized by Congress. Now, that I think it might have passed if he had, they were going to require him to get authorization from Congress. and they opposed that. And looky here, look who voted no.
Oh yeah, Susan Collins doing her usual do-si-do.
Yeah. And then, good old Rand Paul, you can always count on Rand Paul as one of the few Republicans to stand up to presidential power and defend the power of Congress. But they had this vote. They did have a vote, and 49-51, that was close. But that's all I'm saying is, follow the Constitution, get congressional authority, and I'll be fine. If we have a debate and the public supports it, then fine. That's my problem. But then what is the objective? But then you get down to what is the actual objective of this adventure, and how does it help our national security? Okay, I'm talking a lot, and we got a lot of people in. Let's see. Gravity's busy. Let's see who. Gravity. Okay. Oh, Gravity's very busy. Let's see here. Gravity. All right. Great news. Let me get this. Let's see. Great news. We finally got him. All right. And let's not anyone forget he has been under federal indictment since 2020. It's about time we got him. Well, now, Gravity, talk to me about the guy that he just pardoned. The head of, was it Honduras, Jamie? Is that who he was?
Right.
And I mean, he was convicted by our courts in jail, sentenced, and Trump pardoned him. And he was arguably a bigger drug dealer than Maduro. So explain to me, somebody explain that, that we get excited about getting Maduro, and we had that one in jail, and Trump pardoned him. What's the story with that?
And it wasn't the fact that he was arrested and brought in. It was how they did it. You don't go dropping your military into a sovereign nation just because you don't like somebody.
When you're under indictment, it doesn't matter how you're arrested. Well, I'm sorry, but that's like Jamie's saying, under international law, it matters. I mean, Netanyahu, I'm not sure he was actually indicted by the international court, but Putin was, by the international criminal court in The Hague, but they can't arrest him. I mean, how are we going to arrest Putin? When you're dealing with foreign leaders, it's a whole different story. Gravity, he wasn't officially registered as the president of Venezuela. Well, he was official, but only because he kept power and wouldn't give it up after he lost the election. I agree with you on halfway on that. But are we supposed to go arrest foreign leaders who aren't who lose their elections and don't leave office? I think Trump's actually jealous of the guy, because he did what Trump tried to do. He lost an election and stayed in office. Gravity's still at it. Let's see. Gravity. Donald Trump doesn't need the authority from Congress to arrest somebody that has been under federal indictment. I'm sorry, Gravity, but that's wrong.
I mean, if you were walking across DC and was under indictment, sure, he could be grabbed. But he was sitting in Venezuela, and that happens to be a whole other country.
I don't know, Gravity. I'm starting to sit. I was just going to suggest that we go ask AI, but that ain't going to work, because Gravity says AI is wrong. So forget that, I guess. All right, let's get back to Stewart and get on some evidentiary ground. As a former officer, it is imperative how someone is arrested as it is for the chain of evidence. We don't want defense attorneys to have a legal argument on that. And Dungun's here. Trump leave Rand Paul alone. Kind of strange. done gone. Done gone leaves. Done gone. And done gone Trump's just foreshadowing. What do you mean by, has Trump said something about Rand Paul? Well, he probably has. He gets.
Let me see if I can find out for you, huh? Since that seems to be my job.
I guess so. Trump leaves Rand Paul alone. Trump leaves Rand. Oh, I see. You're saying Trump done saying Trump leaves Rand Paul alone. He does pretty much. I think he knows Rand Paul's got a pretty strong following in Trump's own base on some issues. So he does.
Okay. Let's see. No, that's from June 3rd. That won't do us any good. That's old.
Well, I think we're off that now. We got that settled. She's talking about that Trump leaves Rand Paul alone for the most part. Rand Paul. And I was going to get back to this. Oh, what else we got on? Let's see what we got on Trail Mix this morning. Yes. Oh, Rebellious is weighed in with her meme. Let's see what she got.
She's got another one?
Yeah. There we go. The new leader of Venezuela.
They had one of
I like the smileys
earlier in full Latin America military.
Oh, yeah. Well, that reminds me, I was going to ask everybody. I came up with a suggestion, but I'm open to ideas. Is what if Trump renames Venezuela? I came up with this. I had AI make this Trumpzuela. Why not?
Yeah,
Venezuela.
Too little gold. You need some more trim.
Yeah, I didn't want to waste resources, because Blue in Dallas gets upset about how much water and electricity that AI uses. And so I try to hold back on having it. I didn't want to make it you do more work, and because I did think the sign needed to pop out more, the lettering needed to be a little more clear, but
I didn't mean to leave you there.
And we need. Let's see. We got that. Let's see. What else was I going to do? We had something. I had something else. I want to play this.
Look at our
What's
pal
that?
there about try sending drugs in our country now, Venezuela. Well, they weren't doing it anyway.
Yeah, I did get the numbers on that, Paul. 1% of the drugs from that region, from the southern hemisphere, comes from Venezuela. 1%. You know what? Colombia and Mexico account for 80% of the drugs from that whole region into the U.S. I mean, so this wasn't about drugs. I'm sorry, it wasn't. That was a cover story. Well, I like his little. What is that? I don't know. What is that emoji Paul's got there? I can't quite tell. It's too small. Paul, MAGA back in business. Where? How? What do you mean? I don't think a lot of MAGA voted for this. I don't think they voted to go depose the Venezuelan leader. I didn't think. That's certainly what Marjorie Taylor Greene actually wrote this morning about that. If I can get it, it's up here at the top, I think. And let me go find Marjorie. Here it is. Do I have that up? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Here, Marjorie Taylor Greene weighs in. Regime change, funding foreign wars, tax dollars funneled to foreign causes, foreigners, while Americans face increasing cost of living, housing, healthcare. Learn about scams and fraud, especially the younger, is what boomers and half of Gen X will cheer neocon wars and talking points. The other half on down see it through. And anyway, she ends up with, this is what many in MAGA thought they voted to end. Boy, were we wrong. So
I do wish people had stopped attacking boomers. I mean, I'm on the leading edge of one. We were the whole civil rights generation, folks.
Yeah.
We didn't want any of this.
Well, Paul's just spitballing now. Paul's just spitballing. He's anyway.
Well, if it was Russia oil, they were in the wrong country.
Let's see. We got Jake. See, we got Jake. Maggots drove U.S. into the ground. Deport. Deport. Paul, 77 million people voted for Trump, and we don't regret it. Well, you know what? 70 million, over 70 million voted against him too.
Wait till they see their insurance bill.
I mean, well, now let's not get too insulting about the poor old MAGA folks. They don't know any better.
We don't need to call them names.
And then illegal is illegal. Okay. What is it about illegal? Don't you understand, Democrats? Yeah, I know an illegal war when I see one. I saw
use
that.
undocumented for a little thing called due process. It's not about sending them out. It is about arresting them in court when they're doing what they're supposed to be doing to follow the law.
Now, I just want to point out to everybody, this is the link right here. If you want to get on your phone, if you got a camera on your phone, you want to click that link or paste it into your phone or however it works on your phone, we can get on here and talk to us. It wears me out. I like talking to your keyboards, all right, but it's kind of hard on my fingers and my mouse and everything else I'm trying to do. Oh, what's Stuart?
Maduro was charged with entering U.S. without a visa. Should have grabbed him then.
Actually, Stuart, I did see something I found kind of interesting because sometimes I get into the legal weeds and because like I always say, I love law school. I just hated practicing law, but I like getting into the weeds of unimportant details. And when they brought him in they had customs there, and there's a procedure I didn't know. When somebody isn't a citizen and you've arrested them, they have a procedure with customs called parole. And they actually, I don't know why they call it parole, but you get like a temporary visa basically to get arrested, which was new to me. I didn't know that little detail. Let's see, what do we got here? You ain't got to go, but you got to get your undocumented legal criminal. No, well. Paul, you're just spitballing now, man. You're just spitballing.
Yeah, now they're just calling each other names. Go away.
Done gone. That's a capital offense. And all right, that's enough for your spitballing, Paul. We'll have a conversation if you want, but I'm not putting that stuff on. All right. All right. Yeah. All right. Now let's not just start calling names. We
don't do
get nothing done. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get back to I want to finish up with that woman that I like so much from The Economist, because then they finished this discussion on a couple of other things that I thought was
Let me
good.
ask you to elaborate on something you said, because you are a trained economist. You don't think that this will have much impact on the price of oil and therefore on inflation expectations this year for the midterms?
Not in the short term, because first of all, I mean, we'll see what happens in the markets tomorrow. But in the short term, I don't see a likelihood of a huge increase in the supply of oil. It's going to take a while to repair the mess there. And then it's going to take a huge amount of investment to actually get the production going up to anywhere where it was 2 decades ago. So this is not something that's going to happen overnight. And perhaps more importantly, the price of oil at around $60 a barrel is already at a level which, if it falls much more, it won't be actually particularly economical to exploit Venezuelan oil. So don't get too excited about the commercial prospects of Venezuelan oil.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think these big companies are going to want to go down there. This country's going to be in chaos for a while. I don't see how they can go down there and do the investments to get production back up to speed.
Paul's just shouting talking points now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this guy, I want to go back to this guy before we're done, because I think he's on the ground in Venezuela. He spent 20 years there. He worked for the State Department as a Venezuelan diplomat. Even his cat's Venezuelan. His wife's Venezuelan. He actually pointed out that his cat is Venezuelan, this guy. But he's down there right now and on the ground, and he's made the point that, he made the point just I played earlier, that the regime is still there, that getting the top guy out has not done a thing about getting rid of the rest of his regime, which was his dictator. I mean, he had hundreds of people. They're all still there. And the vice president, who's sort of in charge now, is no better than he was. And this guy makes that.
I want to follow up on that. So from the press conference yesterday, Donald Trump basically said that Marco Rubio had conversations with Rodriguez, and she was willing to do what Washington wanted to make, quote, Venezuela great again. So, and then today she's come out and said, look, you've got to return Maduro. So it seems like there's a disconnect here. Maybe there's something more going on behind the scenes, but, what do you think the U.S. is going to do? Are they going to bring boots on the ground? I mean, what possible scenarios do you see here based on that?
So you have all the easy questions for me this morning, or this afternoon, your time. I have to say I'm really at a loss to say what is going on. It is hard to me to envision that Delcy Rodriguez, who is a sophisticated lady, educated in France, where she studied labor law. She's definitely a woman of the left. She's well-traveled. I have spoken with her personally in the past. She is very cagey. She's soft-spoken. This is not somebody who is going to be easily tricked into going along with something. She's also a hardcore ideologue. So it's very hard for me to envision anything other than what she's doing right now, which is calling for Maduro's return, which is calling for Venezuela to stand strong against the United States. I'm very skeptical that that the conversations that Secretary of State Marco Rubio may have had with Delcy Rodriguez would have gone down that path. And I think the best evidence of that is her hosting a cabinet meeting yesterday, her demanding to see proof of life about Maduro, her demanding the president's immediate return. I don't see that that's a partner for a reconstruction or return to democracy in Venezuela. Indeed.
See, so getting to the what next thing, I mean, we already know the person in charge wants Maduro back is not. So, I mean, what have we accomplished here? I mean, unless they go in and get rid of her too, but she's the one Trump was praising yesterday. So I don't understand what their strategy is, if there is one. Let's see what we got here. Republicans would put a wine bottle up if Trump said it would own the. Yeah, I think a lot of them would. They're Dr. Dano might. Dr. Dano might. The commenters. Oh, that reminds me. I had some C-SPAN callers. I'd saved some C-SPAN callers just for you, Jamie, because I know you like.
Oh, you did. My favorite people in the world. Huh?
Yeah. I don't know if they're still on. Oh, no, they've gone on to book notes now. So. Well, we're about ready to wrap up the hour. I was going to finish up with. I was going to play Sunday Serendipity that that didn't make live trail mix.
Okay, you do that. I've got to. You'll have to get a new sidekick for tomorrow. I'm going swimming.
Oh, good. That's I really want to figure out some way to go swimming really bad. That's I don't have a way to do. Where do you? Oh yeah, you've told me before. You have a regular place for that.
Yeah, I got a community center less than a quarter mile from me. Huge Olympic pool.
All right. Well, Stuart, always good to see you. Dungon was here earlier. We met some new folks. Some we don't want to meet again. And then others we want to come back, and we welcome you to go over to trailmix.cc and get in there and comment. Dive in. It's we don't bite unless we have to. Anyway, I've got Sunday Serendipity, for those who aren't aware, is a regular thing our pal Jack does. Where's Jack been lately? He's gone missing on us. I hope I didn't irritate him by forgetting it was Sunday. Anyway, we'll get back
you
to
too,
him.
Stuart. You like the music. Stick around.
All right, here comes Sunday Serendipity. I geared this up for us to finish out the day. Let me get all this stuff off the screen so it's not in our way. All right, here we go. So one of the benefits or liabilities of being retired is sometimes you forget it's the weekend, because the weekdays and the weekends get a little mixed up. And I got carried away this morning and forgot it was Sunday. In fact, it's Sunday, January the 4th. As we discussed before, I got carried away with a little fight I'm having with YouTube robots, squelching by Venezuela videos. But anyhow, that's another story. I want to get back to what we would have normally been doing on Trail Mix today, which is Whiskey Jack Sunday Serendipity. And it gives me a chance to plug something on YouTube. Right here on YouTube, if you go to our channel, you'll find on our homepage the playlist called Sunday Serendipity. And there you will see all the videos that our friend and DJ Whiskey Jack posts every Sunday. A nice mixture of a lot of classical, some other music, and some Latin American twist, some Japanese, some cello. It's good stuff, and we enjoy it. And I can't believe I forgot it. So I'm gonna show you what would have been today's Sunday Serendipity. You see here on the screen that Jack posted, and it is a Pizzicato polka, a little polka from Johann Strauss, a short fun piece to start off our new year, Jack says. And I'm apologizing again to Serendipity fans everywhere, and to Jack, that I didn't remember that it was Sunday and put something else on this morning. So I'm trying to make up for it here with this polka that Jack put on by Strauss, and we'll listen to it. We'll listen to it right now. And we'll blow up the screen and turn up the volume, and here you go.
Okay, I'm Lady Mau Mau, Craig's built-in emergency brake. If this wasn't enough for you, sign up for the newsletter. It's free, it's thoughtful, and it occasionally makes sense.